All right, guys, we're back on the episode 9 today for our podcast.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I was hoping Curtis would stutter. Sometimes he gets first word stutters when he jumps in.
All right, we're going to start off today with our ranking 90s cartoons.
This has been asked of us quite a bit to rank 90s cartoons, and I have to give a disclaimer. I was looking on like Wikipedia, like let me look at all the there's like a million 90s cartoons that are great. We cannot do all of them. It's not possible. I left out like 50 of them that I desperately wanted to do, but we just can't do them all. So welcome, boys. Ricky, you are going to start us off. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are starting off with the Animaniacs. Ricky, you chose it, so you get to go first.
I really love Animaniacs. Wait, does this include Pinky and the Brain?
Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain is in Animaniacs, so yes.
Very funny, very cool show, but the Pinky and the Brain are my favorite thing.
That was your favorite thing?
That was my favorite thing on Animaniacs.
Really?
Favorite
Mine too. I
could go with that one,
love
too.
Pinky and the Brain.
They used to call me and my cousin Pinky and the Brain. I was always Pinky. So.
But what's your ranking?
My ranking on that one, I want to give it an S, but I'm going to keep it an A tier.
Okay, and for anybody that doesn't know, in case you're new to this, S is best, F is obviously worse. So Ricky's starting us off with an A.
A.
Chris?
I loved Animaniacs, but for the same reason, I loved Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah.
Really?
Which I think was later a standalone show at some point.
Yes.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
But it started off as like a side thing to
Yes.
Animaniacs.
Yeah.
But I love Animaniacs. I would give it. Would you give it?
A.
I'd give it an A.
Would you give it, Curtis?
I'm going to give it A. Yeah.
A
Solid
also?
A. Yeah.
I'm going to give it a B just because there's a couple on here that I know have to go way above it. For me, personally, on a personal level. But I will say, my favorite wasn't Pinky and the Brain. I did like Pinky and the Brain. I also like the Pigeons.
The Pigeons
Their
are
little
awesome.
spin-off.
The Pigeons are
But
so
I
good.
really loved the Animaniacs themselves. I love the Wheel of Morality. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us a lesson we must learn. All the different songs they did. Super fun, super goofy. For me, B. But you guys both said A's. So I think that's just like a solid A. Maybe, maybe right there in the middle. Closer to a B. I'm going to go at random and pick the next one. Ready? Spin, 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 spin. Right here. I picked,
Oh,
Gargoyles.
Solid one, man.
Ooh, boy. Let's go, Chris. Give us your first thoughts.
It's a great show. As a kid, I did not watch it that much. I'll be
okay.
honest with you. I really did not, of all the other 90s that were out there. But I do remember it. It is good. I love the artwork. It's like the animated Batman series.
Yes,
So,
dark.
Dark.
Very
So,
dark.
So good. But again, I didn't watch it all that much.
Okay.
So for that reason, I'd probably give it a B.
Okay, a B.
Nice.
Ricky?
I'm actually going to give it an A because I loved it.
Yeah.
I really loved like Goliath and all the guys. Dude, great show.
Yeah, fantastic
Great show.
Curtis?
Man, it's going to be an S tier for me, man.
You're S tier.
I love it. Yeah, because I love
like it.
collecting all those little
like
figures for them, too, man. It was like every time I see them out in the swap, I'm stoked. I'm like,
Yeah.
Gargoyles, let's go.
I was collecting gargoyles for a little while too, as far as toys. Genesis game, I think, was one of the first things I got gargoyles related. Besides the actual, getting back into the show, there's also like a big box VHS for it. That's really nice.
Oh, yeah, that is
I
cool.
found that multiple times at the swap meet, and it's like a nice big box, really clean, really cool looking. For me, I've always loved like the darker style stuff. I showed it to my son too a few years ago, and he was super hyped on it. And that was like when he was like in that early phase of like, Dad, your nerdy, nostalgic 90s stuff is lame. So when he liked this, I was like, okay, that shows me he thinks it's cool. For me, I'm going solid A. So that was A, S, B, A. So it's a solid A.
Hey,
Now, yes?
Did you think that girl looked like Carmen Sandiego?
Yes, absolutely.
I always thought that during the show. Sorry.
100%. There's probably some universe thing. Guys, question though, does Gargoyles go above Animaniacs or not?
Slightly.
I'm going to
There's
put
an S in there.
Oh,
There was
you know
an
what?
S.
Okay.
It'll be at a tie. You know why? Because of the S and the.
I feel like they would both
think
both
they're-
Okay,
average out to
I'm
A.
locking them in solid right next to each other.
Which I'm
Chris,
cool with.
Why don't you pick the next one? If you can see, Beto, give us a full screen on that. There we go. Chris, you pick the next one.
X-Men.
X-Men. Okay, and you get a start.
I mean, I picked it for a reason. Oh my gosh, this is one of my possibly my favorite cartoon of all time. So it's a solid S for me.
Okay.
I mean, that noise that you just said, the opening intro to it was so unbelievable.
You know what's funny? I love the opening intro, but I don't like the riff, funny enough, the riff part that comes during that intro. I love that. I don't like that part, the build-up.
Picture that. I just remember the
they're all flying.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. And Wolverine in this was unbelievable. I loved his yellow suit character. It was so good. It's so true to the comics.
I sent a clip not too long ago, I think to all of us, that I forgot about, me being a Christian guy, where Nightcrawler helped save Wolverine.
I saw that episode recently.
And I was like, whoa, I don't remember this. Nightcrawler was like talking to him and kind of like, he gave him a Bible. That's what it was.
Yeah.
He gave him a Bible, just kind of, told Wolverine who's going through some stuff. And the episode ends with, I think, either Rogue or Jubilee. I think Rogue walking in to like a church after she was hanging out with Cyclops. And Wolverine's down there like accepting the Lord. I'm like, I don't remember this, but it recently came in my feed.
You shared that. That's right. And it shows him like kneeling, like accepting the Lord in the church. It's pretty awesome.
I was like, well, it was cool, especially for someone, like me who's into that. I was like, that's cool. I'll jump in since I was there. 100% A for me as well. 100%. Defining cool 90s, right? There's like fun 90s. There's like Animaniacs, there's Nickelodeon 90s. But when I think of like cool, like when you were a kid and you were watching X-Men, you were a cool kid. A for me. You said
S.
S. Okay, go Curtis.
I'm a solid A. I loved it. I love Scott Summers. I loved Beast. I loved Storm. I loved all of them. Like even what's it called? Phoenix. I can't think of her name right now. Jean Grey. Yeah, those characters are crazy to me.
Yeah.
And awesome. And Professor X is like one of the most notable people. Like even his little spin-off movies have been really great.
I remember I thought he was like the coolest person that I knew with a shaved head. That was when I was a kid. Like, that's the coolest person I've seen with a shaved head.
I thought it was Mr. Clean for sure.
Definitely not. Ricky, what do you got?
Straight up S tier, dude. That's Gambit in there.
Oh,
Gambit.
Ricky. Why did I forget about Gambit?
Like,
that's everybody's favorite.
And he had the
too.
southern accent, like the Louisiana accent.
I wish I was Gambit.
Gambit is one of the coolest.
One of my favorites ever. By far.
Like, dude, that show was so good. That's like the one show I would look forward to every day.
Me too.
Like, oh, I can't wait.
So am I the only one that didn't say S? You said S?
I said A.
Okay, so
it's
the highest so far. It's
for sure.
Nothing's going to beat it.
SA, okay.
Kind of like on par with this. I think we should go into the ding, ding, ding.
No, wait. I have a better idea, Curtis. Watch this. We got to rate this 90s commercial. Just kidding. Speaking of commercial, quick break for a 90-second sponsor. We're trying to be funny with it. But this couldn't be a better... Don't skip this. For the first time in my life, do not skip this. Chris, why don't you explain who we're working with now as one of our sponsors? This is like crazy to me that this is even happening.
So one of our main sponsors is pricecharting.com. You guys probably all are familiar with price charting, video game price charts. They now go by pricecharting.com. So they're sponsoring the next 3 episodes that we do. So we're probably going to have full term. Yeah. So we're going to have quite a bit of sponsorships with them and doing some trade-off sponsor stuff as well. So
it to me is the most fantastic term. Like I've only had one other sponsor, and I don't need to name names, where I was like, this couldn't have been more perfect for our show, for what we do. What do we do on our show? If you don't know, besides this channel, we're out there game hunting every weekend of our lives using price charting every minute, every day, all the time, sending screenshots. Look at this. This is the value of this. When we sell and whatnot, this is what this stuff goes for on video game price charting or on price charting. So this, when you kind of worked this, because Chris is kind of the one who worked this magic into happening of this, we were super, super excited, and I couldn't be more thrilled that like this is a sponsor. Like we're working with price charting. We're going to be on their website. They're working with us.
Prior to price charting existing, when I used to go game hunting, this is probably like 12 years ago, I used to literally go to the flea markets with like printed out sold listings from eBay. This was prior to them existing. They kind of changed the game. Yeah.
Wow.
And because you didn't know value, so you had to go off of all eBay. Obviously, what price charting does is they take all that eBay information and they consolidate it so that you can see the values and stuff. We've all been using them for video games for years. But the first thing we wanted to talk about was really that they recently, in the past, I want to say year, spread out their categories. You now on there can find comics. They have all the sold listings for comics, trading cards, which includes like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. Magic. I've seen Magic. They even have Garbage Pail Kids, which I love Garbage Pail Kids, so that's on there. They have
big sports cards.
Sports cards on there.
And they just added, I think, U.S. coins.
They have coins on there.
Ooh.
Yep. So all that information is on there. So if you're looking for X-Men 1 from 1990s, if you want to go on there, type in X-Men 1 now, you can sort and see all the values.
Which I think is really cool for it to be in one place, because like us, we're always looking at the swap meet, trying to expand our different things of what we look at. So for it all to be there is beneficial for us, someone who's like doesn't want to have to go to 40 different websites to try to find something out. So for us who are constantly scanning, looking at things, trying to find things.
Yeah, and I use it all the time when we're at Golden West.
And it's so
hunting at
funny
the flea
because
market.
like when you talk like this in sponsors, people are like, you're saying those lines you're supposed to say. This is like literally what we do. Like, it's like, I use it all the time. Wink. It's like, no, we
actually do use it all the time.
Yeah,
so.
I definitely like looking at like how the markets, how it shows the market data and all that stuff. Over
yeah, they now have
time.
graded stuff on there. They have new, complete in box, market stuff. So yeah, check them out, pricecharting.com.
And stay tuned. We got more coming for you guys after the next couple segments. But to move on to the next, they might have Turtles cards in there, I'm not sure. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I would say this might be possibly the most popular of all of these, possibly of these 90s cartoons. I'll jump in because I'm already talking. They went through a lot of changes. I was watching a documentary on them recently, and it's crazy how just in like the first season, if you watch the Ninja Turtles, the art style was different than just like a few episodes in, because I think they hired a certain animation company that put like a lot of like shine on Shredder's face, and on like Krang had like a lot of like texture in his look. And as they went on, they got so popular so quick. They were using different voice actors every episode. Different voice actors, different artists to draw these things. So there were so many different iterations of what it looked like, which to me is a testament to the stories and the likability of the characters, because for it to be that popular with that much behind the scenes crap, so to say, going on, that's huge. That means people really attach themselves to the Turtles or to Splinter or to Casey Jones or to April or whoever it was, Bebop and Rocksteady. So with that out of the way, S. It's S for me. Ninja Turtles is S for me. I have to.
Yeah, I feel like we're just choosing like the really good ones because this is a solid one. I always loved seeing the Pizza Time shirts and all that type of stuff. It's like
branding with it was
perfect.
Top
notch.
Yeah.
Top notch. What do you rate it?
I'm S. S.
Okay, double S.
I mean, it's for all the reasons you said. It is probably the most iconic 90s cartoon, I would
feel
think.
like it has to be.
Was it my absolute favorite? Like, if I had to choose between, okay, you can watch Turtles right now and watch X-Men, I probably would personally watch X-Men.
Yeah.
Not to say that Turtles isn't as good.
Yeah.
But I still would put this in an S category.
Ooh,
it's that good.
Hold on, ladies and gents. This could be another possible triple S. We've only had a couple things. I mean, a quadruple S.
Yes.
So you have S, I have S, Curtis has S. It lies on you, Ricky. Ricky, don't feel pressure. If it's not S, you don't do it.
Don't feel pressured.
But if it happens,
D.
my hands are ready to clap. They're really close.
It's an F.
What is it, Ricky? Is it an S?
It is an S. It has to be an S.
Yeah.
Well, I think that
I'm with him. If I had to choose X-Men over Turtles,
Yes.
I would choose it.
But we both went S on X-Men.
Well, it's funny because, I mean, for video watchers of the podcast, even just seeing this image, 90s cartoons with the Turtles logo, it couldn't look more at home. Like, that is 90s cartoons, right? I think
Agreed.
it is a defining, fun, like we said, X-Men was the defining, like, oh, it's that, like, I'm cool. Turtles is like the ultimate, like, whoa, 90s.
It
You know?
is
They're cool
so
characters too.
Whoa, 90s.
Whoa, I like the 90s. All right, here we go. Next one. I tried to go not all super popular ones. Who has even watched this one? The 90s Mask. I know me and Ricky have.
A little bit.
Curtis?
A little bit.
Okay. I mean, Ricky, why don't you go first then? Jump it in.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but if
You can be brutal, bro. That's the whole point.
I'll give it a C. I liked it, but it wasn't like one of my favorites.
Okay.
I just think if it was on, I'd watch it.
Okay. Christopher, oddly staring at the screen.
I'm trying to remember it. I mean, obviously, I remember the movie.
Well, if you didn't remember it that much, that means you didn't like it that much.
I didn't like it that much, so I'm going to have to go D just to spread this out.
My goodness. Curtis, a little lower than I was thinking.
The only time that I ever remember the Mask is only because of the iconic Jim Carrey, but not the animation style of it, because the animation style of it just kind of was like whatever.
Wasn't for you.
Yeah, I would say like C.
Okay. I'm going to go B, but strictly based off nostalgia and memory, because it wasn't necessarily the show was that great, but the memories attached to it. And this was always on after Surf Team, Ricky and I. Surf Team, then to Ricky's house, and while we're switching off, Ricky go takes a shower, the Mask is on. I go take a shower, the Mask is still on. And the funniest part about it, as embarrassing this is, there was a show that came on every time after the Mask. We were in high school, and we would sit there and watch it until we left for school. Bananas in Pajamas. 100% the most.
seen that show.
Bananas and
Oh, it's like a
pajamas.
4-year-old show.
Oh, dude.
It's literally like a 4-year-old show. And we would watch that together after the mascot would come on. So for me, it was more for the setting around it. So I'll go B, but I think it's fallen.
That's funny.
I think it's dropping itself.
Oh, it's so good.
Pretty-
Why is it bananas
Solid
pajamas
C.
on here, dude?
Yep.
That's an S tier.
Bananas and pajamas would be. Let's go. Let's get
Did it
Chris.
have Jim Carrey's voice?
I don't
in the mask?
think so,
Oh,
but
who
I,
was
d-
the
voice of it?
I don't want to say no.
Did
but
it sound like Jim Carrey though? If you
Probably. I
picture
mean,
it?
people are
Yeah.
pretty good at imitating.
Curious.
Let's all watch Chris's face get excited. Ren and look at that smile on him.
Love it
Audio
so
listeners
much.
are missing out on that glory.
I love it so much.
Okay, go ahead, give it to us. What you got? You start.
Oh, this is the S's of S's. This is one of my favorite cartoons of all time.
Is this
I mean,
possibly your highest on this list?
I mean, I loved X-Men too. I kind of wish I'd ranked Turtles a little lower.
I'll never say that again.
This is just such a solid S. Just for the art style, I love just how it was like very deranged. It's like dark. There was like so much weird stuff. It was very adult. Like if you go back and watch this now, I mean, it is beyond adult. It was very kind of like cutting edge, pushing the limits. But I don't know, all the fart jokes and all that stuff like that just like tickles me. So I love
you,
it.
huh?
It just tickles you.
Funny, Curtis tickles me. Ricky, what you got?
For me, would you give it?
S. Yes.
Don't
easy.
worry about what he said. You rank it where you want to rank it, bro.
I liked it a lot, but I didn't watch it enough to like love it.
Okay.
So me, I'm like,
Bro, brutalize it for him.
Don't do it.
Brutalize it.
I'm gonna be.
Okay.
It's
All
great.
right.
It's a great show.
Dang.
I loved it, but it's just I didn't have cable.
I'm curious what you like think of this one.
So I'll be honest. My opinion on this is, back in the day, I didn't really care for it. Now I love it. So I have to find that fine balance of where I put it. I think I'm with Ricky, overall a B for me, but I actually think it was ahead of my time. Like, you're a few years older than me. I think if I had a few more years on me, I would have enjoyed some of the humor a little bit better. I think I was still in that slight stage of like more like the Disney style cartoons. And I still like the dark, like, you know, X-Men stuff, but I don't think I was so in touch yet with like the poopy fart, happy, joy, cinnamon toast man, all that stuff yet.
Like, did this come out in '92? I want to say. I think so, because I have some
Something like
T-shirts
that.
and stuff.
Yeah, but
so
it played through
92
my
was probably the
childhood,
height of
too.
it. So I would have been 11 at that time. So I think right at that 10, 11-year-old age is when you get into like the poopy fart joke
Yes.
stuff. And it, like I said, it tickled me. Like watching this as a 10, 11-year-old was
poopy
just like,
fart.
oh, like you felt like it was bad, like you shouldn't be watching it.
Yeah.
It was like that. And
Okay.
so I loved it for that reason.
So that was SBB Curtis.
Solid A, man. I was a Nickelodeon kid way over Disney
Okay.
for sure, man. I would be playing like all those type of like
Hey Arnold's, Rugrats,
the
or whatever.
Yeah, Cat Dog. And then it kind of reminded me of a little bit more on the Cartoon Network side of like Courage the Cowardly Dog, the
Yes.
dark style of it. So I would say A for me.
I like that too, that everybody in here has a little bit different like range of what we watched, because it's so easy if you get everyone with the exact same taste in like 90s cartoons. People are like, well, I didn't have cable, so I had this, or I didn't have this channel, so I think this is a good mix up. So you said what, Curtis?
I said A.
So ASBB.
BB.
I think that's a high B, low A.
That's a bass.
Mid A.
That's
We catch it.
So far, Turtles is number one, and X-Men is just right below it. I'm going to mix it up and go with DuckTales. I'll start with this one. So, funny enough, DuckTales and Chippendales is on here later, too. I thought these were both, like, middle 90s, like, shows. But then I looked them up. They came out in the 80s and, like, barely made it to 1990. So it still counts as, you know, 90s. It was in the 90s. I'll say, as far as, like, the Disney style, the Disney afternoon type shows, you know, there's Tailspin, there's a bunch more. Most people would put this as the top of the tip top. This came out before Chippendale Rescue Rangers. I loved it. It was one of those shows where I was at that stage as a kid to where my excitement levels were up when a show would come on. So this would come on and I'd immediately, you know, put on the sunglasses and sing the song and act stupid and jump on the bed. Absolute S for me. I have to. This is so much defining memories watching this show. Curtis?
Dude, I'm gonna crush your dreams.
That's okay.
Here.
I don't care.
Do it, Curtis.
I'm gonna be honest. When this thing would come on, I would just change the channel.
You were what? How old?
I mean, I wouldn't connect with it very often. Like I would rather just watch like Mickey Mouse and
He
all
was
that
waiting for
stuff.
Blue's Clues to come on.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude.
Hey, that's a good
Steve.
show. Blues Clues is a good show.
Hey, I knew immediately when you played that
was
song.
a good show.
That was a really good
But
show.
I'm gonna rank this as a D for Disney.
Wow. Now that was-
D.
just replace the D in DuckTales with an F.
Oh, dang, Curtis.
All
I
right,
like
Ricky,
it.
what you got?
Oh, bro, this is S tier all the way. This show even aged beautifully to me because my
did.
kids love it. I prefer this over the new one any day. Like, but it's so good.
And the new one's not bad.
The new one's not bad, but this is just so good. Everything, the storyline, every show was like great for me on this.
was so
I just watched
good.
Super Duo the other day.
And let's be real, Uncle Scrooge is living all four of our
dude,
lives. Let's be
he
real.
is.
He's climbing for money. Say what you want about him. So,
I
Chris,
loved it.
I did like this one a lot. And
whenever
I
you
did
start
watch
like
it a
that, I
lot.
know you're dropping a bomb. Don't
I'm
get me
not
wrong.
as far down as
I
Curtis.
liked it.
I did like it. Is it S for me? I don't know. It never
Okay.
really did it as much. I watched again a ton. But
be
I would
pressured.
give it a solid B.
It's like
Okay.
payback for Ren and Stimpy, isn't it?
Ren and Stimpy.
This.
So wait, that's B.
D.
Oh, you idiot, Curtis.
D.
D, S, S. So that puts it at like a low A, high B.
B. I
Low
think it's like a B.
where?
I tried.
No
I tried.
way.
Oh no, I just moved the cartoon thing. All right, here we go. Ready? I tried, guys. What'd you say? Like a C? This is not going below the mask.
B.
I couldn't even get myself to do it. I'd punch
It's
one
a
of you
solid
guys.
B.
Maybe
All right,
high B.
Here we go. Hey Arnold.
Oh, that's me.
That's Curtis. Why don't you start? As you're a Nickelodeon boy.
Dude, 100% S tier. I loved Gerald. I loved Arnold. I loved the whole New York scene of being playing like that baseball.
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh my gosh. I could watch this over and over and still be happy, you know? So that's S tier for me.
I didn't watch it as much as I would like to admit. So I will gracefully, because I want to respect it for you, I could give it a grade, but I'm going to plead the fifth because I don't want to ruin it for you guys that watched it more because I didn't watch it enough.
What did Curtis give it? An
I got
S?
S, yeah.
And I mean, this has
Ass.
got to be a late 90s show. I remember watching it a little bit, but late 90s for me, I'm probably in high school at that point. So, like, I've seen it.
You grew up, yeah, that's what happened.
I was grown up. I know Peter Pan was all grown up at that time.
Okay.
So I probably should plead the fifth, but I have seen it enough that
You
I'd
can
probably
give
give it a B. It's a decent show. I'd give
B,
it a
S.
Oh, I watched it, but every time I watched it, I turned it off.
Ooh,
Let's go, Ricky!
Garbage. This is what he's
Finally, a
going for.
mean
F.
side.
F for me.
Ricky hated it.
I hate this show.
Let's go. We got some honesty. So let me just start
Sorry-
it where.
sorry to the people that
let me
like the
start
show,
it where
sorry.
He
Curtis
wishes
had
that
it.
he was honest about that.
Drag it.
I think it's like right there above the mask.
We're going to have to speed round these next couple.
Okay, speed round. We'll go fast. Ready for this? Bobby's World. Absolute 100% S. One of my favorite shows of all time. Howie Mandel. Beautiful acting.
Howie.
Beautiful
So good.
accents. Wonderful. If you were a kid who had any sort of imagination, this was the show. S tier.
I loved it. Loved Howie Mandel and the way I just loved the way
Yeah.
they did. What did they do? Go back and forth between him and real life,
Yeah,
and then the
he
show.
started out.
Yeah.
It was so good. A.
A. Okay.
I don't have any say in this one.
Okay.
Solid A.
Ooh, okay. AAS. That's a good ranking, my friend.
Yeah, that was a good show.
That's a solid.
I kind of forgot about
We'll go
that.
fast for you, Curtis. Ready?
Please do.
Beavis and Butthead. Ricky.
Ooh, that's a solid A for me.
Yeah,
Beavis and Butt.
I'm with you.
This is S category for me. I
knew you'd
love
say
Beavis and
I knew
Butthead.
you'd
Oh
say
my gosh, I love this so much. In the same line as Ren and Stimpy, just like so cutting edge and kind of like dirty.
TV for my bunghole.
Yeah, so good, so good.
What
S.
I find interesting is due to Ren and Stimpy, I feel like I wasn't there with a lot of that adult humor, but with this, I was. And I think it's because I watched it at a certain time in my life in Yuma, Arizona with my sister, with her husband at the time, and it connected with me. A.
Nice.
I'm an A,
Oh, I
solid
like
A.
that.
Okay, so that's a good A.
It's a
What'd you
really
give
good
it?
A.
I would literally
That's-
just laugh because he's like,
That's like a high A.
All right, ready?
I used to love that laugh.
Batman the Animated Series. This is tough for me. I'm gonna say the last two. I'll just go because I'm already yapping my mouth. S plus 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 plus.
This was year one.
The most impactful 90s show. It changed so much. Even Ninja Turtles itself, later in the seasons, changed the animation style and the looks of the Ninja Turtles to have more sharp eyes, to resemble more of this noir, this dark look. One of the best things that ever happened in animated. Mark Hamill, the acting, the story of Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. S plus plus plus. Go ahead, Chris.
Me?
Yes.
S. Yeah. I mean, this one, man, it was dark. It was good.
Yeah.
I loved it. By far the best Batman series, too.
Okay,
of
I'm with
all
you.
of them. Yeah, so S.
Okay.
S, best Batman series. Truthfully,
Batman
I'm
going to
not
take
gonna
it?
put it up there with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I'm gonna say A.
Wow.
Dang, Curtis.
He did it just to spite.
disappointing Again.
Wow.
is this because of the app?
It's an F.
You don't want to call that an F. I didn't know
No,
you did
I
that.
wouldn't. No,
All right, here we go.
I have honest opinions here, huh,
This
Ricky?
is like second place. All right, last one, Chippendales Rescue Rangers, Ricky.
Oh, I love this so much. It's S.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the new movie too. It's just so good.
This is in line with DuckTales for me. I've put it as a B. I like it. I watched it a ton.
Nice.
B. Yeah, nice.
If I could shove one up Chris's butt. No, I'm kidding. If I could shove one up there with Batman, it would be Chippendale. This was one of my favorite things in history. I know the whole backstory of Disney wanted something that they drew a whole different art style of random characters. They wanted it to be successful with already made characters in line with the Disney World. So they put Chip and Dale in there, who only appeared in like 3 Disney shorts as main characters before. I know the whole history on this crap. The intro theme song is the best one too.
Sing it.
Sometimes some crimes go slipping through the cracks. But you don't know that?
I don't even remember.
What?
it.
Chippendales.
It's been a long time.
Chris,
I'm not gonna vote on this one, but you
He
should
was watching
do.
Beavis and Butthead at the time. bro.
Wait,
What's the top one? We do it at the end.
Wait, so the top, I think, was Turtles, and the lowest, no shame in here, The Mask. But all of these were pretty much S's and A's and B's.
Solid.
Let's go back
Let's
in the day,
go.
90s.
Wait, Hey Arnold didn't make it to the bottom? Just kidding.